Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's market color. The London session market color, which is for 8:30, today being the 12th of December, that's 12/12/2024. Welcome once again. And in today's market color, we'll be looking at indices, asset class by indices. Like you all know, I mean the US 30, the NAS 100, and also S&P 500. Right, welcome back. Please, as our routine, our normal routine, do well to send the link to this Zoom call to as many as possible. Those are interested in trading, friends, the trading enthusiasts. Ensure you send them this link and help us spread the gospel of market color. That being said, let's move straight into the chat and look at what we are having for this morning. All right. We mentioned last week that we're seeing some possibilities on US 30 selling to the downside, right? And true to it, that's what has been happening, right? Let's start with US 30 this morning. Okay, give me a sec. Let me arrange my screen. All right, we're good to go. So we said that was when? That was on Tuesday. We mentioned that we are expecting price to, come to this lower region discount level, right? On the Fibonacci, those that understand discounts and premium, expecting a sell-off of US 30, and that's what has been happening. We marked out this fair value gap and jump in price, which we said that although price is going to fill that place, we don't expect it to start buying from that level because it's still in like a premium level, right? This jump, but then we'll see some level of reaction, of course, which we saw. So that being said, we also mentioned that this fair value gap, we expect price to fill this fair value gap. Yes, to fill this fair value gap, the second fair value gap. Let me delete the first one. The second fair value gap. And also we have the last fair value gap, which is like also double FVG, very significant, right? If you look at it very correctly. So, and then if we look at our FIB2, we use our FIB2, the last low to the recent high. We see that this second fair value gap aligns with 61.8 FIB level, and also the first one aligns with 38.2, around 50% FIB level. So these are places I'm looking forward to see how the market is going to react, and then from there I want to engage it with what I've just laid out now. 61.8 looks like a very good FIB level to start buying from because of the confluence all around that level, right? Double fair value gap, right? And also the FIB level that is aligning in that place. However, this 38.2 FIB level, when we look at it on 4-hour time frame, we might see some interesting stuff there, right? Which is what I've marked out last week. This double fair value gap, this double not double fair value gap, fair value gap. Apologies for that mistake. All right, this tiny hidden fair value gap we have here, we can all see it, right? Also with the other block just below it, right? So I'm looking at that level as a possible tap, like price is going to just wick into that fair value gap one or wick into this other block and then start moving to the upside, which is quite usual with the way US 30 behaves, right? If you follow analysis on US 30 very well, it's common to see wicks, right? On US 30, price is going to tap into that zone and then we see it flying to the upside. So that is what I'm looking out for my first engagement in this market. If I'm going to engage this market at all, I want price to tap into this fair value gap or this other block, then look for lower time frame box pattern for me to engage the buy to the upside, right? Because it's a good place to start buying from. However, the second place where I'll be interested is this zone here, right? On the daily time frame, that's the 61.8 level that is marked out here on 4 hours, right? I'll be interested so well in this zone. If for any reason price fails and then we see it still creating lower highs and lower lows to the downside, breaking our buy bias or making it invalidated, then I want to take this buy the second Fibonacci level, which is very, very there's no assurance 100%, but then it looks like the most probable place price is going to turn from. All right, that being said, let's look at the 1 hour time frame and see have something unique around that zone. We can also see that on 1 hour, that fair value gap and other block is still very significant, right? And of course, the last previous the movement that has been done before and this retest of this zone, if you look at it from 15 minutes or so or 30 minutes, you're going to see it clearly serves as liquidity, right? A build up of liquidity. Yeah, price is going to take out, price is going to take out this last low and then tap into this fair value gap or into the other block for us to start seeing that movement to the downside. And interestingly, the price movement has been kind of a bit slow, although it's a start of a new day, right? And then we've not seen so much volume in the market. But then this price action is suggestive that we might actually see that tap into the zone for a push to the upside. So be on the be watchful, right? Ensure you add this to your chart list. For me, I'm very, very optimistic about this trade that price is going to tap into this zone or any around this area of interest. All this area of interest, I'll be watchful to see how price reacts and then probably take my trade from this zone, right? Because even looking down, I'm seeing a double IFVG again, right? A double fair value gap around here, which is also significant. So the entirety of this zone, this area of interest, makes it somewhat interesting for us to take buy setup from there. All right, that being said, let's look at NAS 100. On NAS, there has been an interesting week so far. NAS is just pushing to the upside, and like you all know, NAS is a tech stock, and Nvidia, not Nvidia now, Tesla is currently leading the road for that. Is leading the whole tech market, right? I just saw in news last night about Elon Musk is now like the first person to reach over 400 billion, valuation net worth, right? So that's a huge stuff, and that's as a result of his company. Tesla now is worth, I think, over 400 billion itself, right? And so US 100 is actually, should I say overbought? Not overbought because we can't say where exactly we are going to in the real sense of things. The real rally just started, right? I've been saying that we are bullish overall. However, let's look at where we can take trades from technical perspective now, right? You should know that our underlying fundamental, right, or sentiment around US 30, NAS 100 still remain being bullish, right? Because of the political tone around it and the current theme we're having in the market. Everything is pointing to a bullish market. However, you can't just buy from, okay, I said now that Tesla is 424, and then you just jump into the market. You want to see a bit of retracement or when it's underpriced a little bit and then enter the market. So that's the reason for all of these technical drawings we are doing on the chart, right? For me, I've been anticipating a price move to this downside. This is like the next support that we're having. However, I want a little push to this fair value gap here to make a whole lot of sense for me to start buying from this zone. But this looks like it was going to happen yesterday, meaning today's candle is going to just push downward. But then what we are seeing a day before yesterday actually, right? But then what we are seeing now is quite different. It's quite different. We've seen it continue the rally to the upside, and if that's continued the rally to the upside, there's nothing we can do on our own side. We just have to be patient, because if you rush in, I tell you, you'll be the liquidity, exit liquidity. All right. On 4 hours, is there something we might see that looks interesting? Okay, you can see like a 4 hours type of box pattern, right? A sweep of this last low and a break of this structure, and then we're waiting for price to come all the way to this place. Will price do that? I really can't say. However, this entire region look like something interesting, right? So we've seen a sweep. This is like a classic box pattern, right? Box strategy. A break, shift to the upside, breaking the previous all-time high. Now we expect that price is going to retrace into this zone for it to start pushing to the upside again. So that's a very good possibility, possible setup that is currently forming on 4 hours. Mind you, this is 4 hours, not 1 hour. So let's look at 1 hour quickly and then see if anything has changed. Nothing really changed. It's still very much valid as it was on 4 hours. So 1 hour looks very, very good. So for anybody looking forward to take this trade, you might also just put it on your watch list. However, I'm more bullish on the US 30 play because for that, it's still we have a long way to go. All right, let's look at S&P 500, and that will be the last for today. S&P 500 also had that U-turn, right? So for S&P 500, in fact, I've not had a place to buy S&P 500. I had focused on US 30 and also NAS 100. That's NASDAQ. But if I was going to buy S&P 500, of course, I have to wait. When we fib all of this, and in fact, we can't even fib it again because you don't know how long, if this recent high is going to hold. This new candle is suggestive that we might even break the previous high today. So might just wait for a retracement, 50% retracement, and then we enter again. Price has been doing 50% retracement, say 50% retracement, and then continuation to the downside. So to the upside, sorry. So that is something I will also want to watch out for today. Look at what price is doing, and then take advantage of it. Let's look at 4-hour time frame. Is there anything on the 4-hour time frame? Also, 4-hour time frame is highly bullish. We are highly bullish, highly bullish. So on S&P 500, for those that are patient, we just want to leave S&P 500 for now. Let's focus on US 30. High priority setup is there on US 30 and also NAS 100. So the issue with NAS is, will price want to reach? Will we see that correction today? I'm not certain. With the way price cleared this previous all-time high, we might just see a correction into a tap of this zone, and then it continues to fly. So, but then overall, once again, US 30, I believe that is where we have like the higher opportunity for price to move, and then we can take advantage of it since we have seen that level of retracement happen across board. And also for those that use correlation, it's interesting because S&P 500 now has moved, right, as clear as its previous all-time high. NASDAQ also has done the same thing. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for US 30 to follow. It's simple. S&P 500 has done it. NASDAQ has done it. We're waiting for US 30 to join the move, and then we are good. All right, that being said, do we have any question about this analysis? Do you have any question? And was it helpful in any way? Do you have any question? Mr. Chris, Mr. David Mary, Mr. Desi, Mr. F. Emi, Imi Etienne Fong. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce it well. The Mangot, Michael, Oladipo, Olaniyu, Luasheyoni, and Petra. Do we have any questions so far concerning the analysis on US 30, NASDAQ, and also S&P? Let me know in the chat box. And if it was helpful, let me know also. Right? So while we're doing that, I would like to bring to our notice that we're having our last training for the year. That's ATM cash flow training. Right? That will be the last ATM cash flow training for year 2024. Calling it a wrap. And by next year, we're going to begin our training session again. But for those interested, people that want to be trained, especially with synthetic indices, right? Ensure you let them know, and they can get signed up and be properly trained to trade that asset class. That being said, we will convey by 2 for New York session market color. That being said, I wish you all a profitable trading. I see all of our reply. All is clear, helpful, very helpful. No question, really helpful. Thank you. Thank you too. It's helpful. Thank you, and have a blessed day. And you too, sir. I wish you all a productive day ahead. That being said, cheers and God bless everyone.